Hello everyone, this is Jonathan for PokerVIP.com and I am back with another series on TonyBet Poker, and in this we're going to do a bit of a beginner's guide to No Limit Hold'em. So something for you sort of new to newish players or people who are coming back from a little bit of a break. I just wanted to show you the games here and just talk about, poker generally and just why I do what I do. I've only pulled up two tables here, one of 5 cent, 10 cent, and one of 10 cent, 25 cent, because I really want to put in a lot of effort um, explaining the hands and helping you understand, the plays we make and why they are profitable or, of course, not. And I think two tables is going to help with that. First things first is generally like get signed up to TonyBet because the games are soft. The games run all day long. There are lots of recreational players and sports bettors, and for a beginner, they have a great thing where you earn rake back depending on how much you win or lose. So if you're not winning yet, if you're barely winning, you're going to get lots of rewards. You still get great rewards if you are winning, but if you're losing, then 80% rake back, a bonus, and some free tournament tickets are going to do a lot of good for you. Also, it's just great fun to play on. So that's the first thing you should do. After that, what else do you need to do? Well, I've actually pulled up the options here. Auto rebuy is ticked. Well, why do we want auto rebuy ticked? Well, a lot of the strategy we're going to talk about and a lot of the strategy you're going to read is on 100 big blind play, which just means a full stack. So if it's 5 cent, 10 cent, a full stack is €10 because 100 big blinds is that starting stack usually. Auto post blinds, that's always a good thing, so you're not having to click post small blind, post big blind every time it comes around. Mucking, winning and losing hands. A big leak a lot of new recreational players have is showing hands. Never show a hand because you're just giving people information. Run it twice, well, that's up to you, but basically run it twice means you run two boards. So say you go all in pre-flop, you see the flop, turn and river twice. Say you go all in on the turn, you see the river twice. This, over the long run, means very little, but in the short run, it just reduces your variance. If you get in with sort of like, a top set versus a big draw, then you're probably going to chop it quite a lot of the times, and it's going to be hard to lose, two all the time. So it just helps secure your bankroll a little bit. I'm actually going to get rid of this right-hand table because it has gone. It's turned into a heads-up game, which I do not want. I don't think that's going to show you that much. So I'm actually going to bring up a slightly larger table here. This is a 25-50 cent. Now, a few of you might not be playing this high yet, but the strategies kind of stay in place, and it should still help you a bunch. So I'm just going to sit there. So auto rebuy on, all those options explained. Post straddle. You don't want to straddle. Basically, straddle is doubling the blinds under the gun. So you basically make the game twice as big, which will generally mean you're playing 50 big blinds deep if you're just sitting down. And it will just complicate what you're learning. And it will just create a lot more gamble. So I'd leave that unticked if I were you for now. So far everything's straightforward, but we do find ourselves with a pair of jacks here. One thing to note is two of these players only have 40 to 47 big blinds, such as this D Grand who has opened. And that generally means you're going to be a little tighter pre-flop sometimes because you don't want to 3-bet, sort of like junk to get 4-bet. You don't want to be calling as wide because you can't win as much. And also you might get in a little bit lighter. Sort of jacks you might not always want to get in for 100 big blinds, but for 40 big blinds it's probably always going to be fine. So what we've done here is we've gone ahead for a raise. Now against one player, I'd advise 3.5 to 4.5 times their open. So 120 to 140, and would be a good size there. Just heads up. But versus two players, you want to go 6 to 7 times their opening size, which we did, and they both folded. Jack 5 suited. Just because it's suited and just because you're in position doesn't mean you need to play it. Just go ahead and fold. Playing hands like that will generally get you into a lot of trouble. First of all, if you make a flush, it's not going to be the nuts. If you flop a pair, you're not going to have a great kicker with it. And you're just going to miss the flop a whole lot. So early days, just start off by, folding these junk hands and, learning the games a little bit. this player's posted here, they've just sat down and have like auto post like blinds and not wait for big blind on. You always want to have wait for big blind on, which you can see here. Wait for big blind. So auto post blinds, but wait for big blind. And that just means when you first sit down, you don't just post randomly, and that's going to be a losing play because you're just giving up like a big blind without seeing your cards. And because you have to do that anyway once a lap, don't do it any more than that. Seems like he sat down and found some sort of hand though. He wins his first pot. Nine five off, going to fold. Hand going on over here on the 25-50 table. Blind versus blind. Ace 4 9 ace. It's a call. Flush gets it on the river. Half pot bet by Uventu44. He's probably going to have some aces, some full houses, some flushes. I don't think he's going to have that many bluffs and that many thin value bets. I generally think he's going to be betting a strongish range there. Queen 3 in the big blind. Now, just because you have a big blind out, it doesn't mean that you need to defend it to the death. I know some of you might have seen high stakes poker where, people say that, well, my children out there, my soldiers are out there, whatever it might be. Queen 3, not a hand though. Remember, the main thing is when you are defending your blinds, most of the time, well, 4 out of 5 times you're going to be, out of position. You're only in position versus the small blind. So, you're playing out of position, you're playing a marginal hand. If you're new to the game, or even if you're experienced, that can just be a very difficult time. King Queen blind versus blind. I'm going to go ahead and open. And my opening size is 3 times the blind. That is generally what you should be sticking to. Flop top pair, good kicker. I think we should just go ahead and bet here. And around 2/3 of pot is fine. He can call here, remember. Just because you have such a strong hand doesn't mean that he doesn't have anything. He could have a flush draw. He could have a worse king. He ends up folding though, but we do take that pot down. Now, this hand's quite interesting on the left-hand table. We've found ourselves a limper when we're in the small blind with 8-9 suited. And it's definitely, one of those things that be going through your head is, why don't you just call? Well, because if we call and then we get raised behind, then we're going to be out of position. However, though, if we go ahead and raise it, like we did, then, we can go ahead and take initiative. Now, we've hit top pair here, so it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and bet. However, though, if it came like ace high or king high, we could still go ahead and bet and we could represent that hand. Remember, they limped, so what do people limp with? Pairs, suited connectors, stuff like that. So, we can go ahead and rep the strong hands and obviously give up on other boards. Queen 6 on the button. It's a nice hand. We like to be able to open it, but on this occasion, it's a fold. Queen 6 suited, I think we can open, but Queen 6 off, such a bad hand. But, being in position, we do want to open, we do want to win those blinds. But just Queen 6 off needs to be a fold. Sometimes you need to fold. Five seven, we're going to fold. And the reason, by the way, we want to, play lots of buttons, for those of you who are quite new, we want to win these blinds. Now, big blinds, and I've said this obviously in the past, so anyone who's watching who's heard this, I understand, but they have posted that money without seeing their cards. It's an involuntary bet. They have to bet. They are forced to. No matter what cards they get, they have to go ahead and, put that money out. So the chances are they probably have quite a weak hand, Think about every time you've been in the blinds, how much junk you get dealt. Think about how much junk you get dealt generally. So we want to attack those, but Queen 6 versus any two, it still doesn't add up. But Queen 7 suited, starts to look a bit better. Pocket threes here, I just went ahead and bet the flop. We can definitely get lots of hands to fold that have equity versus us, such as 7-8. Uh, King 8. All these hands can hit, pairs and beat us. So getting him to fold all those hands is just fine. And I was just about to say, we can actually get called by, hands that are not beating us as just flush draws and straight draws. But after that, we just want to check down. We just want to try and get to showdown. We just want to try and win that pot. We don't want to put any more money in, and we certainly don't feel there's a need to bluff. 3-4, we're going to go ahead and fold. It's a nice suited hand. I understand. When I was first starting out, I wanted to play hands like this as well. But under the gun, not so much. On the button, maybe, if the blinds are folding a lot. But, 5-6 suited and hands like that, that's kind of your cut-off point there. 3-4 is obviously the low of the low. As beautiful as it looks. Jacks here, I've opted for a check. I don't want to bet to find out where I am. Now, a lot of people say that. I want to bet to find out where I am. Well, we like to bet. We like to get information. But, we can also get information by checking. And the information we've received here is this guy's overbet the pot. Now, what would you overbet the pot with? A set? 2 pair? A flush? The ace of hearts? Yep, all of those hands. I think a lot of hands that beat pocket jacks with no hearts. Now, the further information we've received here is Game Boy calling. He's flat called an overbet. That screams strength or a huge draw to me. So I think here, well, I didn't wager any money to find out. I actually wagered nothing. I just simply clicked check. And now I found out all of this information. I can put that together. This just becomes a very simple fold. A heart on the turn, it goes check, check, and then a queen on the river. Now, Game Boy could have had the ace of hearts, and he checked. Oh, wow, king 9. I mean, it was a hand that beat us, but certainly not a strong hand, and I'm really not too sure what Just Sport had here. Let's see if we can find out. Well, he actually had a king as well, but king 3, so he flopped 2 pair. See, that makes a little bit of sense. He was trying to protect this hand. Queen of Hearts was obviously a scare card for him. He thought Game Boy might have had a heart in his hand. And then the queen obviously counterfeits that 2 pair. So it's kings with queens with a 9 kicker, which plays. So it kind of makes sense, and we found that information out for free. 10-6 here, and we saw a limp from Halo, and we're just going to check it down. I don't see the point of really stabbing here. I don't really think we need to try and win this pot. I think you can certainly have lots of hands that call, such as ace highs, such as pairs.
Power
So,
off.
so in that occasion, I'm happy to just go ahead and check and, not win that pot. Or we could win versus like 7-8 off or something. You don't need to try and win every pot. Jack 5, again, it's suited. I get it. We like to play suited hands, but out position, nope. Just get it folded. There is no need to play a really bad hand like that. Jack 7, really weak hand. It's only versus min raise getting a good price, but out of position, being a beginner, we want to go ahead and fold. Even as an advanced player, lots might fold that hand. It's just one of those hands that is just never going to play that well. You're never going to flop that great. You're never going to win that big of a pot. It's going to be out of position and just check fold an awful lot. Now, here's a really interesting spot here with ace 3. We opened the button. We were just trying to steal the blinds, and we had an ace, so why not? Big blind called, and he's gone ahead and bet more than the pot. Now, we have top pair, and we have a backdoor straight draw. And also, Halo didn't 3-bet us pre-flop, so we have a good hand. We have some, backdoor draws. We can make a straight. And Halo doesn't really represent that much, Why didn't he re-raise me pre-flop with, like, a big ace? So what does he have, like ace 5, ace 6? Possible, but we have an ace and there's an ace on the board. So that makes it a little bit unlikely. What else could he have, though? A hand like 7-8, 3-4, something like that. So I think we have to call a flop, and versus this size on the turn, we certainly have to call. We have, turned our straight draw. We still have top pair, and he still could be bluffing with a hand like 7-8 now. And I think getting this price, we're getting, nearly 6-1. I think we just have to go ahead and call. I think a bit bigger with a strong hand. So what's he repping here? 2 pair? Okay, I think that's all we can really give him. I don't think he's going to bet this amount with sets or straights. So I think we just have to go ahead and call here and hope we're right. Sadly, he actually had a better ace. Now, something I didn't expect him to have is just like an ace nine there. You know, going for a check raise, when he really has no idea where he is in the hand because he just flat called pre-flop. And certainly when I could just be c-betting and bluffing a lot, doesn't make much sense for him to do that. I'd say he's probably a bit of a newcomer to the game because generally that will get you into a lot of trouble. Worked well for him there, but in the long run, probably not going to work out that well. You know, we can just be sat there and we call down with, you know, ace queens and ace tens and so on. Now, here's a really interesting spot here with queen 10. We open in the cutoff, a hand that we should certainly be opening, and we're being re-raised. We're being 3-bet by just sport. Now, we are in position, which is great. But the other thing is, he's pretty much just min 3-bet here, so we should always be calling. But the main thing is, we just need to be cautious post-flop. We don't want to get in too much trouble. Saying that, we have flop top pair. He could have a hand that crushes us. So what do we go ahead and do here? Well, we don't want to get in much trouble, but we certainly don't want to just start playing weak and playing bad. I think we should just go ahead and start betting and seeing what happens. The issue is we are opening ourselves up for a check raise there. But again, if he has a hand like ace king, then we don't want to check and let him hit. If he's got a hand like pocket nines, we don't want to check and let him hit. We want to build a pot, we want to protect our hand. Now, a really bad turn card here is the ace. Certainly a hand that he's going to have lots of. But, you know, we don't need to bet. We don't need to bluff. We don't need to bet for value. So we're just going to check here and control the size of the pot. On the river, it's going to be a really interesting decision if he bets, but not so much if he only bets 50 cents. This is a very easy call. We're just getting a monsterly good price, and we have a hand that probably wins, you know, a lot of the time, let alone, you know, 1 in 25. So we're just going to call here and hope we do win. And yeah, he just has jacks, which makes a lot of sense, you know. But pre-flop, he should go ahead and just bet much more. You know, he should raise, you know, we open to 150, he should make like 550. You know, giving me a great price in position when you've got a vulnerable hand like jacks is not going to be that great for you ever. I really like his check call on the flop. I think that's great play. He's controlling the size of the pot. He's being cautious. But then on the river, he should probably just check. You know, he should just probably check, check, check in. Okay, so king queen here, we have a strong hand. We don't really lose to them much. You know, pocket jacks, well, we know he 3-bets with those hands. Queen jack, yeah, it's possible, but we do have a queen and there's a queen out there. Pocket fours, definitely, but he's also going to have a lot of hands like queen 10 suited, queen 9 suited, jack king, ace jack, jack 10 suited, and even hands like king 10 and ace 10 and 9 10. So we're just going to continue to bet. I think on this river we're going to bet again, and we're going to bet really small. We're going to give him a great price to call with his weak queens and his jacks. And if he raises, I think I'm going to go ahead and make a call here, because I don't think he's going to have that many fours. Now, just as I was saying, if he raises, I'm going to call, he min-raise. And that is basically the worst thing that can happen. Because that kind of screams strength. However, getting this kind of price with such a strong hand, and when he shouldn't really have much that beats us, we're going to have to go for a call here. The only, you know, it's just one of those things. We're going to see what he has and see what sense it makes. He actually has king 6 offsuit. So, you know, that is just literally playing the odds. You know, it screams strength, but it doesn't make much sense, and we're getting such a good price. What was he doing there? Some of you might be thinking. I don't know. It was a terrible bluff, it was a terrible hand throughout, and it is something that is going to cost him a lot of money. And it did. It just makes no sense. If you're going to bluff there, go all in. But still, I probably call just because it wouldn't make enough sense. So he should have folded pre-flop, folded the flop, folded the turn, folded the river. He should have done nothing there that includes putting his money in the pot with king 6 offsuit. 10 jack I open, and I actually like to bet here, and I just bet once. I have no real hand, so I can really never win this hand at showdown, which means if I get called and it, you know, somehow checks through or bets through to the river, I'm never really going to win because I have nothing. So I like to bet and just try and win it once. Once I get called, I'm done with the hand. I don't feel like blind versus blind I need to bluff that much. And also, because we are blind versus blind and the pot is quite small, so I bet 5 here. I don't think that means he's just going to fold like the 10 of diamonds or the jack of diamonds. Because it's blind versus blind and he's going to be, you know, I'm representing the nuts. So I don't think I can bluff that often. So I just like to bet once and be done. And, you know. he can win with queen 4. And you know, like there, even if I bet 5, he might call me for queen because I'm literally just repping like a large flush. And I can definitely just not have that. A couple of pairs here on the buttons, obviously a great thing, and this is the real advantage of playing the button. When you're playing the button and we're opening hands like ace 3, 7, 8, and so on, we then do the same with our kings, and you know, people have no idea what's what. Here though, we see an open, and we go for a 3-bet, and I make it, you know, 3 and a bit X. You know, he's out of position, we're building a pot. 5's here, we're going to fold. It's been re-raised, so we're just going to fold. We would have called the original open, though. The problem is when you overcall these re-raises, you're investing a lot, you need to win a lot, and if you do call, someone can raise behind again. So you could just be wasting money without ever seeing a flop. So you just got to get out of the way. And also, you know, bearing in mind, these two players in the blinds both only have, you know, 40, 50 big blinds. And, you know, they've got pretty good reshoving stacks. So there's just a huge chance that these 5s, you know, we just burn 80 cents, basically. King 8, we're going to fold. Any comments, please leave below. We will be answering any strategy questions or just any questions you have at all, even if it is about the TonyBet software or the games or the deal or just any advice you might need. Just please post in there and we will get it answered straight away. Okay, so 6-7 offsuit here versus a min raise. We're going to go ahead and call. It's a hand that does flop pretty well. You know, we can make straights with this hand, and we're getting a good price to do so. You know, we don't want to just be folding our hands. Turn, I'm going to go ahead and lead. He checked the flop, so he might just have nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and try and win with my nothing. If he calls, then I'll reevaluate the river and see what happens. If he folds, that's great. If he raises, I fold. And he does just go ahead and fold there. So that shows just with a little aggression at the right time, you can go ahead and just win a pot with nothing. You know, he's crazy there, by the way. If I'm opening the button and it's coming ace high, I'm betting because I probably just don't have a strong ace, right? So he can just win that pot a lot. Pocket 8's here versus a slightly shallower stack. We're probably just going to go for a call. Re-raising doesn't really do much. You know, I don't want to raise for value. I'm not raising as a bluff, so I just kind of want to see a flop with 8s and, you know, have quite a strong hand to do so. You know, it's not super strong, it's not super weak, but it's certainly too strong to fold. Now, it's actually being re-raised here by Mr. Novi Mode. Good sizing by him. He's made it, you know, the 5x that we were talking about. And Rimsius has gone all in, so this is just a very easy decision for us. We're just going to go ahead and fold. Mr. Eventu is thinking, and we're going to sit out here, call it a day. And like I say, please leave any comments, any questions. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll see how this hand plays out before I do finish it, though. It's an all-in and a call. Aces, ace, kings, two very strong hands. Both make absolute sense. Ace king played it fine. And once he squeezes, he should never fold, especially for this sizing. And aces, yeah, once it's been squeezed, just jam. Why the heck not? And aces does hold twice there. Our rate's not looking very good, so glad we lost the minimum there and didn't have to get involved. But anyway, I was Jonathan for PokerVIP.com. I hope to see you for part 2, and good luck at the tables.